Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here, taking a look at the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Convenience in the Magnetite Gray Metallic. This is the entry-level Crosstrek. It comes with the 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine. It gets 152 horsepower. It's a tad more fuel efficient than the 2.5-liter at the sacrifice of 30 less horsepower. 24 Crosstrek did get a redesign this year. Much more aggressive looking than the previous gen. More angular, smaller styled headlights. They're LED steering responsive and they have high beam assist. So they will shut off the high beams if you have your headlights set to auto if you catch up to someone. We've got that larger hexagonal grille, that honeycomb grille. And off of the side, we've got black cladding wings. So it's the same cladding as on the rear bumper, or on the front bumper and the rear bumper all around. No fog lights on the Convenience. And that is one way that you can tell right off the bat that you have the entry level, no fog lights. But if you don't need fog lights, you don't need fog lights. My customer opted to get a remote start installed. Subaru genuine accessory, because it doesn't come with one from factory. So this is the remote start fob. So long as the vehicle's locked, click, click. It's all about the timing with it. And if you don't time it right, it doesn't start. They've also opted for a set of winter tires and wheels. And you can see on the gray, that black cladding doesn't show up quite as strongly as it does on the lighter colors. More aggressive fender flares than the previous gen. We've got functional vents. Mirror caps are black. Not the same cladding material as the fenders, but it is a black plastic. It's not black painted. New style roof rails with the new crossbars on them. And of course, 8.7 inches minimum ground clearance. My favorite view of the Crosstrek is the rear 3/4 view, and I think in the gray it looks absolutely phenomenal. I love the rear tail lights on these. Just love the shape. I love how they wrap. Fuel door is tied to whether your driver door is locked or unlocked. So right now it's locked because it's remote started. And it pops open. When it's locked, you can see there's going to be a little pin that shoots out. Unlocked, doesn't shoot out. So there's no internal release lever. Rear of the Crosstrek, of course, different versus the 23. Rear bumper, we have functional vents. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. You can actually see the gray paint through there. Reflectors, you've got this kind of rear diffuser. I think that the rear bumper looks very much like a WRX. Now, normally I talk about how much room is in the back. It's occupied by tires right now, so there's a decent amount. My customer did opt to get a cargo tray. These are the original factory mats, but because they decided to get rubber mats. But Crosstrek cargo tray, large lip. We've got the cup holder. We've got grocery bag hooks up front. We have nice physical hard mount tie downs. So you can fit a set of tires and still have room for stuff in the back of the Crosstrek with the seats folded. And cargo light here. That'll shut off when I close the hatch. But yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. Normally I show you guys how much room is in this. Good headroom, good legroom. You could probably fit another couple tires in there, really. They also opted to get the kayak stackers. So obviously with snow on the ground, we don't need to put the kayak stackers on right now. Rear door card. We've got gray, light, and dark with the soft touch armrest. We've got power window, a little bit of storage with a bottle holder. This right here is designed to be a grippy step. So if you're loading something on the roof rails or the crossbars that they have, that's a much better step than standing on the tire. And that's because the tire actually sits inside the fender. So you'll get much better grip and a better foot purchase right there. This little black piece is what that silver bar ties into, and that is an additional side impact crash safety bar should you have a side collision. It stops intrusion into the passenger area. Child lock if you need it. No proximity key on the Convenience. It's an actual key, so there is no proximity handle, nothing like that. So it's just lock and unlock on the fob. Black handles. Not body color, not chrome, just black plastic. Front door card looks very similar to that of the rear, except this is soft touch in addition to this being soft touch. This is a little squishier than the second row one. We have our window lock. We've got our 4 power windows, our power mirrors, a little bit more storage along with the bottle holder. It's the light and dark gray two-tone cloth interior. And it's not an extreme two-tone, but it is 2 shades of gray, so I do point that out. We've got these seats that Subaru worked really, really hard on, did a lot of research on. These are designed to reduce fatigue over longer distances. Phenomenal comfort in them. Height adjustable on a pump system, just like the Touring model. Probably couldn't see it going up and down there. It was. On the inside, we have a scroll wheel for the brightness of our gauges. These are just blanks. This dash is essentially the same dash that we had in the 23. They just used it again, and if there isn't anything that goes there, they leave them blank. Great if you're going to put auxiliary driving lights or something in it. Ignition's in the regular place. Everything comes to life. Steering wheel, left-hand side. We have our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can accept calls, hang up calls, issue voice commands. We've got our volume on a left to right toggle now. It used to be here, but it's now left to right. Switch from AM to FM to satellite. That little toggle that I was just talking about changes our small little display here. It gives us a bunch of different info depending on what we're listening or wanting to look at. Clock and temperature is always a good one to have. Auto headlights, you can turn them off or you can have them on. You can see on the wall there, on, off. So if it's auto, that will, and you have your high beams on, they will shut off if you catch up to someone or someone comes at you. It's great. Auto high beam. And that's what that little green A right there is. That's auto high beam. One right next to it there with the A with the slash, that's the start stop. You can disable that if you're not a fan of it. It is a plasticky steering wheel. Not as bad as some of the other base model cars out there when it comes to steering wheel material. This is actually quite comfortable. I'd say it's a plastic rubber mix. Bottom left, we've got both tilt and telescopic. Right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise control and our lane centering. Now, both of those systems use these 3 black boxes here. Those are our color stereo EyeSight cameras. This is a 3rd new wide-angle mono camera. And actually, speaking of visibility, even with a bunch of stuff in the back, obviously it's not all the way up, but you've got phenomenal visibility, good mirror placement. Lots of people find this small window hugely beneficial in the Crosstrek. Lots of manufacturers put their mirror right here, and this is a big old blind spot in addition to your A-pillar. Subaru's mounted them on the door, super smart. But when I use the adaptive cruise, I get an image of the Crosstrek there, and you'll notice there's 3 bars ahead of it. Now there's 4. That is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise control. Now I can decrease it to 1 bar. So anywhere between 4 and 1, and that 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 150 to 180 feet. So it's a decent amount. Now, those lines that just showed up, that's part of the lane centering. I just had to enable it in this system because it doesn't come set like it should from factory. Lane centering, steering wheel off, the system is on. Now, if the cameras can see road lines, whichever side it can see will illuminate white on the corresponding side. And when it does that, if you start getting close to the lines, you actually get gentle steering input to help take you through the corners. It is a phenomenal system. I cannot recommend you use it around town. It's used for highway. And I didn't think I would like it. If you have a chance to test it out, it's great. You're way less fatigued at the end of a day of driving. We've got intelligent and sport mode. So intelligence, what it defaults to, that's for everyday driving. Sport, more spirited, faster driving. And you can see that yellow line's a little bit more aggressive than the blue. And you'll notice down here, it says S for sport. Now it says I for intelligent. You can do this on the fly. You don't have to be sitting still to do this. We've got our wiper control. 1 up just does the mist setting, and then you pull down for intermittent. The collar is controlled off the intermittent speed right there. So it's intermittent, slow, fast. And then to do the rear, it's that. Obviously, I don't want to do that too much because dry windows and wipers going across isn't hugely great for it. Trip reset if you want to reset your trip. And so right there where it says B at 14.6, just press trip reset here. A is 14.6. And if I want to zero it, I just press and hold. So B is zeroed now. Instead of an 11.6-inch touchscreen on the Convenience, you get 2 7-inch screens. Top portion, we've got settings, phone, Subaru Starlink, radio, apps, and media. Apps, wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have to go up to the 11.6-inch screen to get the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Sirius Travel Link, that's part of the 3-month trial because you do get satellite radio capabilities even in the convenience, which is really nice. Volume knob, tuning knob, we still have physical knobs. And when I put it in reverse, backup camera pops up, shows you the top of the bumper there, you have something to relate to. And as I turn the wheel, those orange lines move, show you where you're going to end up if you keep the wheels turned that way. Below that, physical buttons, home, media, radio, phone, apps, really easy to do. Phone takes you to set up your phone for Bluetooth. Bottom portion, we have front defrost, we have side mirrors and back window defrost, access to X mode, vehicle controls, steering responsive headlights you can turn off, you can turn on auto vehicle hold, which is a brake holder for construction drive-through rush hour traffic, driving assistance, lane departure, you can have it just buzz at you, you can have it do the lane correction, lots of things you can change. Pre-collision braking you can turn off. I can't think of a reason you'd want to. And if you don't like auto start stop, you simply press that button and then the little orange A shows up and that means it's disabled. Do have to do that every time. Under more settings, warning volumes, the units. So if you go into the US, you can change it to miles per hour, miles per gallon, etc. They double up. You can turn off start stop there as well. Climate control is here. It is dual zone. Now, it goes in 0.5 degree increments. And you can see it tops out at, let's say, 29.530. Goes all the way down to 14.55. Control where you want your airflow. You sync it back together. You've got your fan strength buttons. You can have it focus just the front, or you can have it focus the entire cabin. Turn on AC. Below that, we've got USB and an aux. Rubberized phone storage, device storage. It is an automatic CVT. We do have a low gearing range, should you want. Park brakes are electronic. Pull up to turn on. Your foot has to be on the brake and push down for it to go off, because if it doesn't, if your foot's not on the brake, it doesn't go off. And it says to press the brake pedal. Heated seats. Subaru opted to keep the physical switches on the heated seats, which I'm a huge fan of. If you leave these turned on and use the remote start, they will turn on as well. Offset cup holders with drink raisers in them. So if you have taller drinks, you're going to get better security for those. 12-volt outlet. We have a little bit of storage here. Soft touch armrest. Really deep storage. No power points in there, but there's a place to run cords through so you don't crush your cords if you've got your armrest down. Don't know when that's going to come into play if you don't have a power point in there, but it's there. I'm sure someone's used it. Up top, map lights. We've got sunglass storage / card holder, vanity mirror. Those slide across. Sun's directly at your left or right. And then we do also have grab handles all the way around for all 4 doors, which is really, really nice. I'm a huge fan of that. Lots of vehicles don't have those, especially for the driver, but hugely beneficial in my opinion. So that is a very quick walkthrough of the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Convenience in the Magnetite Gray. It's powered by the 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine, 152 horsepower. You have 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, or more than most half-ton pickups with that ground clearance, actually. And of course, Subaru's full-time symmetrical all-wheel drive, best all-wheel drive system in the world. If you have the chance to take one out for a drive, I would recommend it. Even on a terrible day, that's the best time to test drive these to get an idea of how capable they are. Even if it's just mud and snow rated all seasons, it really proves the point. So thank you for watching my quick walkthrough of this 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Convenience. I'm Tyson, the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about this vehicle behind me, any of the tech in it, any of the vehicles in our lineup, really, put them in the comments below. I'm always looking to answer you guys' questions. If you have an idea for a future video, something you'd like to see me cover, please put that in the comments as well. I'm always looking to make you guys new videos. Thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.